Hello, everyone, and welcome to Summer League Now, your official SM64 Summer League podcast. I'm joined here with badroenis,
Hey.
and we hope to take you through and cover basically all the aspects of the SM64 Summer League. We have a good set of episodes planned for you. Thank you for joining us for this first episode. We're going to try to give you a league preview. Um, we also have other plans. Badroenis, you want to hop in some of those?
Well, yeah, we have like a 5 episode kind of mini series planned for this. So, if you guys were around for the first season last year, I had a bit of a weekly recap with Ringo that we were doing. Kind of made it about halfway through the season here, and for this one, we're gonna try to make each one like a slightly different flavor, so it's a little bit different from all the rest. So hopefully, like each of the five will have like its own value and be cool to watch. So the first two we're gonna do this week, and that's gonna be trying to preview the league while while all the league stuff is still new. The draft was only about a week and a half ago, so we're trying to get these out pretty quickly. And then we're gonna do like a mid-season review, and the goal is to do this. This is what I'm most excited about. We're gonna do one live from Pace. bdef and I are gonna be at Pace, and we're gonna set up record our mid-season recap show, and then have it in like an open area, and then have any Mario runners who are walking by in the summer league just pop in and give their thoughts, and just have a big like sort of town hall. That's our plan for the third episode. That should be really cool if we can pull that off. Then we're gonna have like a third quarter recap in mid-July, and then after the league is over, early August, we'll have a bit of a retrospective where we look at all the results, some of the highlights, cool things that happened, and kind of yeah, say goodbye to the summer league with the fifth episode. So we got 5 planned, and this is gonna be the first one. We're gonna mainly be going over the draft, but also we have some things about the league scoring and formatting and stuff that I can't lie. It's kind of confusing. I think they even kind of alluded to this. If you go on the spreadsheet, the point system information, they have like the guy, like the crazy guy, like pointing at the wall with all the like the string and text or whatever. Um, so yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about this one. So if you guys are wondering about that stuff too as well, we have T Hags, who's been doing a lot of the behind the scenes work and helping with the league, and he's here to just kind of be a guest on the podcast and hopefully give a little bit of light on the more technical stuff, because there's a lot going into it. So first of all, hello T Hags, and thanks for joining the podcast.
Hey, what's up? Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Well, if you guys don't know, T Hags, Alaris, and Saxdale, and I would say Kaiman as well, are responsible for putting together this whole like system of draft and points and this whole framework that it's running on, and it's pretty impressive. We have a lot of people here, a lot of things to organize and keep track of. So, I mean, maybe you could just tell us a little bit about what you did to prepare for the league, because I don't think everyone really knows all that went into it.
And also just some of the changes over time, because I know it's improved as you've learned more about it. So
Yeah, that's a good point too. If you have anything to say about those.
Yeah. So I mean, for the most part, we have it kind of down to a pretty good science in terms of getting everything set up. Um, we've learned a lot with especially like the power of Google Sheets. Google Sheets has helped us organize everything. It powers our league now. Like everything's calculated with the Google Sheets, spreadsheets, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but mainly like the big things that go into it are just getting everybody in the Discord, in the spreadsheets, their initial PBs set correctly, stuff like that. Uh, so basically, we like to tweak things from league to league, just to like experiment with stuff and see what sticks and what doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and our first league, uh, I don't actually remember if we had bonus points in the first league or not, but we used the PPS system that we have, which is
It's
points
points per
second.
second, by the way.
Points per second. So it's a tiered system where the better your PB, you get more points per second of that PB. So that's to kind of balance out like people with uh, not as fast of times getting larger PBs, making it more even to the people
Mm-hmm.
that faster PBs and getting smaller PBs at times. And then lump sum points, which were the bonus points of old. They're pretty constant. Um,
Yeah, that's just to
basically,
encourage PBs in different categories, right?
yeah, it's basically to encourage just more participation in different categories that you wouldn't normally do. Because like you could just knock out like a 1-star run if you've never done it before and get your name on the leaderboard and then get your team
Just
like
knock out.
1,000
Yeah, just knock out.
points. Yeah. Any PB will get you the points for that. And that's also tiered. So once you reach a certain threshold of your time, it would be increased. Your lump sum points would be increased. And then rank points. Rank points are the beast that we added this year. So this is how we did our point system in the Winter League. If you weren't in the Winter League, we did the non-stop categories. So we did non-stop 120, non-stop 70, and non-stop 16. Uh, and those leaderboards weren't nearly as filled out as like the main leaderboards that we use for Mario. So
Mm-hmm.
we kind of devised a new system because we felt that PPS would be kind of broken in that, and like people would be PBing from nothing to really good PBs, basically for free.
Yeah.
So it was kind of we had to figure out something how to kind of balance that. So rank points were introduced, and they were introduced um, not nearly as complex as what we have now. For the Winter League, it was just straight up like your rank. Um, like if you were first in the category and there's 400 or 200 people or whatever was in the Winter League, you'd get 200 points, and then it would just go down incrementally with your rank.
Okay. Sort of like
So
GoldenEye inspired, sort of.
yeah. That was the goal for that. And then for this league, we like the rank point system, so we wanted to incorporate that with the PPS and the lump sum. So we were kind of experimenting with the summer league from last year and trying out some different point systems and seeing how things would have shaped out if we used that point system instead of the old one. So we kind of came up with a complex formula for rank points, which I can get kind of into. So basically, we create a pool of available rank points based on the total amount of PPS points scored across the league times 2, and then you divide that by the total lump sum points, uh, and that gives you a pool of points that we award rank points based off of.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, I
and
mean that's all. I mean that's
it,
already pretty confusing. I mean,
yeah,
I guess there's only so much you can do to explain it to us, but like,
yeah.
maybe if you had
So
this, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, so like the way we are awarding rank points now is we still have the format where the better your PB is, like the higher up in the leaderboard you are in the league, you get more rank points.
Right.
The catch is it's not simply based on like where in the leaderboard you are. Each spot, depending on how many people have PB'd in the league, gives you a certain amount of what we call shares to the rank pool. Um,
Okay.
so the more shares you have, the more rank points you get. So like first overall, let me like I'm gonna look at the 120 star rank points
So, real quick,
leaderboard right
bdef,
now.
you weren't planning on bringing this up, were you?
Couldn't do it, but I didn't know we were just gonna be looking at the spreadsheet. I can work on getting that up in the background.
Okay. I mean, I think that'd be cool if you could.
All
But
right,
also, people in the chat, it's pinned in league chat, and there's one spreadsheet that pretty much has everything. If you
yep.
remember, like a few seasons ago, we had like 3 or 4, but now they're all pretty much combined on one big spreadsheet.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
So I'll work on pulling that up while you guys explain.
Yeah, so basically a share is determined by the number of people that PB'd in that category, and one share is worth a certain amount of the rank pool.
Oh, I see.
I can't say like definitively what a share is because it constantly shifts depending on how many points have been scored around the league. So it's like
That's
a moving
cool.
target
Let me
for
jump in here
the
for 1 second. I
yeah
finally got a light bulb. So
yeah.
so 120. You have 38 people have submitted 120 star PBs.
Yep.
So therefore, based on the in order of PB, shares go 38, 37, 36 down to 1.
Yep.
And then there's a rank point which is calculated as, you know, like the yeah, okay, you've probably explained this better than I did, but I finally understood like the rank points is based on the shares, and the share is based off of how many people have PB'd in that category,
Yeah, how many people have PB'd and
and then
the
your
total
rank.
amount of points scored in the league so far.
Okay,
So it's a very complicated way of doing things, but I I think it's interesting enough to like warrant taking a look at it for the whole league and see how that works out. And
I agree.
uh,
Well, yeah, it's kind of like just figuring out how big a pie to make, and then how to divide up the pie. And
yeah,
the more people
it,
PB, the bigger the pie gets. But then the times determine the shares. So
yeah, I think it's pretty cool. The way of doing it like this was Alaris's idea, so
Hmm,
if it doesn't work out, we can always blame Alaris, but I think it's gonna work out. It looks pretty good so far, and it's a neat way of adding a third way to score points in the league. So
nice. And we have it up on the stream now. So yeah, thanks for explaining that. And now you guys can look at it here. You
oh
see
yeah,
there's
I should
38 120 runs, and then let's see how many are in 70,
yeah
75. Is there a max of 75, or do 17 and 16
no
just happen to have 75 each?
they just happen to have 75 each.
Okay.
Um, I should say we combined 0 and 1 star rank points. We noticed in last summer league that 0 and 1 star were like disproportionate amounts of points were scored from that category, from
I
those two
remember zero
categories.
star especially was busted. Like if you got a
It,
good 0 star PB, that was like I don't know, that was worth like PBs in 120, 70, and 16 of like similar amounts.
yeah, it was kind of broken.
I mean, you fixed that like 2 weeks in, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's still like even still, it was kind of broken, but it was better. But as like an extra way of kind of trying to balance out every category and not like excluding 0 and 1 star, we wanted to experiment with a combined rank system for 0 and 1. So this takes your best time across like whatever if you have a PB and 1 star and a PB and 0 star. If your PB and 0 star is worse than your 1 star PB, it will take your 1 star PB into
Oh,
account
okay.
for your rank points and not your 0 star PB.
Cool.
It's a real any percent board.
Yeah, basically any percent. We're trying to make it for this, at least. So
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it sounds like overall it's just trying to figure out how to divide up points more fair, and you borrowed it from the Winter League, so yeah, that makes a lot more sense now.
cool. Yeah, it's definitely more complicated of determining points than before, but um, so far it seems pretty good.
Would you say there's any way for the people at home listening who are mostly interested in, hey, I'm going to get this time, can I calculate points in advance or know what I'm going to get? I'm personally of the opinion uh, just I'm just improving my times and I trust the spreadsheet and I trust the league to kind of just
Yeah,
calculate the points. But I know a lot of people are interested, and there was a calculator before. Do you have anything to say about that?
there was a calculator posted a couple days ago, but that only takes into account the PPS portion of it. Essentially, because the rank point total is constantly shifting, you can't really make a calculator for the rank
Right,
points
right.
without it being like a single snapshot of what currently is the status of the league right now. Like
Right.
it wouldn't make sense to have a calculator for that.
Yeah, that makes sense, and I think just a lot of people at home were wondering why that was the case. But um, again, I feel like just kind of put faith in the spreadsheet. I mean, point out any errors by all means, but have faith in
Uh,
the spreadsheet and
yeah,
take a look.
definitely point out our errors because we've definitely caught some already. But
I mean, it's so complicated. How could there not be some
yeah,
sneaking up here or there? But I mean, I'm still in constant awe of the spreadsheet every time I look at it. It like when I tell people just about the Mario League in general who aren't aware of any of the speedrunning or any of this stuff, I'm just like, they have a really impressive Google Doc
yeah, like
or Google Sheet.
before it was the like a TypeScript bot that we have that I piggybacked it off of Minicory's bot that we use for the if you know like the Super Mario 64 speedrun.com leaderboard has like an auto mod thing that we use to auto reject runs if they're not like formatted
Mm-hmm.
properly or
Yeah, it's happened
save
to me.
time for mods. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's happened to everyone. But I kind of piggybacked off that to make the initial bot for the first league. And it's turned into the bot doing all the calculations and just putting it on the spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet just not doing anything besides say what the bot says,
Right.
to the bot just posting the times, and the spreadsheet is doing every single calculation now. The bot's just like a go between to post the times to the right cells essentially.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
It's pretty cool.
And also just shout outs on like just also the draft spreadsheet, which I know is just an entirely different kind of or
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
just
that's all Sax. That's in the same sheet too.
yeah, I'm always just really impressed by that, and just being able to see how that works live is just super impressive to me. So, more shout outs there. Badroenis, did you have any other questions for T-Hags?
I actually don't know where the draft sheet is. Is it pinned in the same place
Um,
or somewhere else?
I don't I don't think it
Did
was
it,
pinned in.
did it get
I think it was only
combined?
pinned in the maybe the captain's league chat, and then we kind of just posted it in the league chat
Oh,
as the
okay.
draft
Yeah,
started.
right. I think it was put
It's
in the
just
chat.
the sheet that we use to like make the picks and the auto
Yeah,
draft pool,
yeah, the auto
the
draft and all
player
that.
pool.
Yeah, I was just looking for it earlier to kind of get a look at, who are the early round picks, who are like the later round picks who have a lot of points already, like
Yeah, yeah.
to look at the kind of, like if you're kind of trying to rate people's draft teams and stuff like that. I was looking for it. But yeah, that's, I don't think we'd get Sox on the mic for this, but just I guess take our word for it. A lot
Exactly.
went into it.
No,
Yeah,
absolutely.
he's also the Sax has done a great job. He's the driving force behind the fantasy, what we
Yeah.
call the fantasy league, where everybody can pick their own custom team to go up against each other, and
Can I just
that's
say
really
I've
cool.
always wanted to host my own fantasy thing ever since like I got involved in like just football, fantasy football stuff, and be like, oh, I would love to bring that to like esports and all that sort of thing. So to see the system set up that like I like this is what I've always wanted to see. So it's beautiful. Shout out to Saxdale there.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Sax.
Yeah,
Um,
I regrettably did not get the chance to put in a fantasy team for myself. It just kind of came up so quickly. It's like, oh wow,
right, yeah, right, yeah. No,
it's already going.
you gotta get it in and done. And so I didn't get in last time, and I was kicking myself, so I made sure to get in this time. I was looking for it. So.
Yep.
And we're going to be living we're going over mostly the teams today and kind of the draft picks. We're going over the first 16 teams, but we will also break halfway for a little fantasy update as well. So we've got you covered there as well.
Sure. Well, I think at this point we could go into looking at some of the teams themselves and try to, evaluate how everybody's doing in the draft.
Exactly.
What were some good picks,
Yes.
some sleepers.
And so I decided to set this up. We're going to be going in reverse draft order to give the team some love that got drafted, had later draft picks, later rounds. So we're going to be starting with Phoenix.
Okay.
And so hopefully you can see that badroenis. If not, this is just from the spreadsheet. These times should be accurate as of yesterday when I took the screenshots, and I tried to clean up the spreadsheet. This is from the official spreadsheet, but I removed the 99 times just to help it be readable for us on screen right here.
Okay. And also T-Hags, feel free to jump in if you want, or if you want to head out. All is good, whatever
Yeah,
you
yeah.
want to do.
Really appreciate you, stopping by and helping kick off the pod.
Yeah, no problem. I'll probably head out, but I would be happy to be a guest on any later episode. So just
Cool,
let me know
Cool.
whenever.
awesome.
See ya.
We'll see you around.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
All right. Can we get some Drakes in the chat? Wait, do you? I'm hitting tab. Do you even have a Drake?
I don't think I have
Wha-
any of like that stuff set up.
My God.
I know, and so
All right, let's get some claps in the chat for bdef or Drake if you just want to type Drake. We all
yeah,
know what it means.
yeah,
But yeah, Drake's in the chat for all the mods. I'm in the mods channel of the Summer League Discord, and I think the most intensive thing was when they had to compile all the PBs prior to the draft, and it's like, this person, does their PB have? They said they have this PB, but they don't have a video, or it's like,
right,
hey, this
right.
person just PB'd, but that was after they submitted the form. Update this, update this, update this, and it was
Mhm.
like, you know, constant effort from I would say all four of the main admins being Alaris, T-Hag, Saxdale, and Kaiman. And Kaiman, who's just the MVP of the SRC verification, he does like the majority of that. And, with the league, you always have a big influx. So
Yeah,
they're both, they're all taking on a lot of work. So
no, and
just
I just
super
want to
cool
say,
that they're willing to do this.
as a tournament organizer, the biggest, like, most annoying thing to do is to keep track of people's PBs as they PB because they don't submit to the leaderboard. They wait. They just like, oh no, they'll just tell you on and off ping. It's just like, so I'm working on actually for a bot to keep track of it for my own tournament things. It's just like here, it's a Discord bot. When you PB, go type it to the bot, and the bot will keep track of it for me. Thank you. So maybe
Yeah.
there's something. Maybe the league could use something like that. I'm sure with all
Yeah.
the
I
brands
mean, they
behind a
have a
spreadsheet.
bot, and it's a
Is
pretty
it?
good bot, but you kind of need to
Oh, really? I'm gonna
um
look into this.
like yeah, I think you kind of need to give it like you kind of need to tell it where to start,
hmm
and then it can run from there. But
Right, right, right.
I think just getting the starting points that you're not giving people points for PBs they've had before the league and things like this. So that's why you need to make sure the starting PBs were accurate at the
Oh,
time of the league starting.
oh yeah, yeah. No, they have a bunch of verification work to do on top of just data entry, and
Yeah,
like that's it's a lot of work. So yeah, shout outs to the mods. It's a really, and I think like if anything else, I'll just mention. I think people are really hyped about the league this year. There seems to be a lot of excitement about it, and a lot of Mario going on. So it's working.
Agreed.
All right, so shall we move on
Yeah,
to
let's go. Let's get into this.
let's get into this. So I think we're mostly just going to kind of go over people's PBs, get a feel for the teams. I know you and I are not going to be familiar with every single person on the lists here, but just try to point out some big trends, some potential, like, oh, they can grab a 1 star, 0 star sort of thing. Just get a feel, and if we know anything special about the players, certainly shout it out. So.
I was thinking I could go kind of quickly through like the draft order, like you
Hmm.
know, like for instance, Genix, like you said, he was the 32nd captain. We have 32 teams. With his first pick, he selected Spenner.
Yep.
Second pick selected Avatar or Avatar, formerly known as. Wait, he used to have another name. I forget. Third round, Ray Oaken, who we both met at Pace last year. Probably why. Connor, okay, thanks Sarah. Appreciate that. Fourth round, Emerald. Fifth round, Kristen. Sixth round, Session. That is insane. Session is a sixth round pick. How is that possible? Also picked right after Seba. Seventh round, Real B Lopez. Eighth round, Ava. Ninth round, Joj. 10th round, the good Jake Word. Played some bingo with him. Round 11, a Flying Cougar. Round 12, Horatio outside. And round 13, Nell. So, some of these runners I haven't heard from before, but we have seen a few points out of them. What does the green versus white highlight mean on
You know
the
what?
screen there?
I don't know. It's from the spreadsheet officially, and it started going haywire when I was deleting times. So, not sure what that signifies.
Okay.
Sorry to disappoint.
Yeah, let me Genix. Yeah, Genix. Yeah, he's a really cool guy. I met him at Pace, but I didn't really know him very well before that. Let's see. So who? Dude, I'm trying to see like who's actually scored points for Genix. Okay. Oh my God, this is. I'm trying to like select everything. Okay, so the biggest scorer right now is actually Nell Ale, I believe. Or no, is that? I believe so. Dude, it says total all points. I think that's points scored during the league, but I don't know if that's like. Yeah, I believe that's points scored during the league. So Nell Ale has already gotten down to a 1657 and 16 star and a 905 and 1 star. Um, Initial times were. Oh, this is so hard, dude. I'm fumbling the bag.
I mean, there's no good way to present 400 players worth of PBs and data in an insane way, dude. You're totally
Oh,
fine.
Sarah pointed out that white might mean they have earned points or they've scored PBs. That might be it because I think um actually I don't know. Where is the Let me just look at the standings here. Genix's team is actually in eighth, so they're doing pretty well. They have 17,000 points. So that does line up with what I've seen on the players tab in the AR column, total all points. I believe that is
Yep.
the points that have been scored.
Yep.
So this team has actually been doing really good. Ava with 4,000, Avatar with 3,000, and then a few points on Genix himself, Emerald, George, no, Kristen, um, Session, and Horatio outside. So yeah, we've had like a really good participation from Genix's team as well. I think that's kind of the one thing that
Hmm.
is hard to gauge because when you go through a draft, you don't know everybody. But the main thing is that some people are just not going to play, or they're only going to play like a very small amount. So knowing who those are, or at least getting lucky and picking people who are playing, is like by far the biggest thing you can do to be successful if you want your team to be like one of the high scorers. So really
Definitely.
good start for Team Genix. I think this team has a lot of potential.
I think so. Shall we move on? Because we had a lot of teams to get through.
Yeah, let's move on.
But I think it's a good call to go through the draft order because I think that helps kind of set the tone for everything. And then, yeah, we had
Yeah, we
discussed.
can definitely speed it up here. What I'm doing is I can control F for the captain and then go down the draft spreadsheet to be
Yep,
like,
yep.
boom, boom, boom.
All right, we'll do
So,
that. So let's go.
oh, would you look at that? Team Tabascoth, currently in last place.
Let's
Would you look at
go.
that? So, Team Tabascoth is my team. Um, if you remember formerly, it was Team Cracked Addicts, and that team was straight fire. That was like a top 3 team. So, we currently haven't started out that well. But if you look at the names, I think this is a team that needs to wake up. Tabascoth has said starting this week he'll be playing, which is awesome. So I think there's a lot of potential in Team Tabascoth right now, which will be renamed to like Crack Addicts 2 or something. Um, so let's go through the draft. First round pick was Taciturn. He did really well in the Nonstop League. And I believe he also did really well in the Summer League before that. So this is one of the guys who um, flies under the radar, but actually comes out and puts forward a lot of points in the league systems here. Round 2, he selected Gothic Logic, an old homie there, but a really good pick if Gothic's gonna play. Third pick Aphrodafro, fourth pick me, so lots of 120 runners here.
Let's go.
All with like fairly decent PBs, so it's gonna be kind of hard to get those PBs to score. But considering like the I think given like the rank points with the shares and stuff,
Right.
these are all runners who could earn a lot of shares
Exactly.
with 120 star PBs.
And also,
Round,
I'll just notice there
go
not
ahead.
a lot of one-star PBs, so maybe some people could get some
Yeah,
lump sum
that's
points right
true.
there. Just go in, grab a one-star PB, and grab some lump sum points as well. So
hmm Yeah, fifth round Yale, um, old friend of mine as well. Seba 54, also crazy. He's a sixth round pick. I think he's really good. Um, seventh round is Drimmies. Eighth round Demon Fang. Ninth round Gerbated. 10th round Das Wolf. 11th round Darker Android. 12th round iToxic Nuke. And 13th round Jesuitical. So,
just Udical. Yep.
there's Team Tabascoth right there. Currently
Awesome.
bottom of the league, so not much to speak about for points.
It
But
is it is still
we'll have
early.
to we'll have to keep that in mind and see if anything's changed by like our mid-season recap
That's a great
and
point. Yeah,
see,
because I'm sure.
if we can check like who's moved up, who's moved down.
Oh, I'm sure, and have a nice power rankings as well. So, let's move on to Beeve. It's Beeve's
Be
team, the B team.
also a repeat captain here. I think it's kind of cool to see repeat captains because then you kind of have similar franchise names that kind of like build a bit of a reputation.
Exactly, exactly.
So B team here. First pick Cobra, which sadly Cobra dropped like a 140 and 120 like last month. If only he had done that like during the league, held on. He had sandbagged for the league. That would have been a big score, but still definitely putting his name on the map here. In round 2, um, with the Kaiman pick, Kaiman practices a lot. So lots of potential there for Kaiman. Third round Gerbies, also a pretty good runner. Fourth round, Jesus. Jesus is a homie. Fifth round, literally Lake. Sixth round, Waldaby. Seventh round, Murky Shadow. Eighth round, Leproxy. Ninth round, Sheeny. 10th round, Dino Hack. 11th round, Scone. 12th, Vito Amiibo. And 13th, Nate Tastic 28. Past like the first like 8 rounds, I don't recognize any of these runners. But that's what the league is for,
Yeah, that's really is
building
the
community.
exciting part of League is that you get all these new names out there, and then then they become really familiar names. As just a couple years later, it's like, oh, that's where they got their start. So
Yeah. And I really like that this league is kind of aiming to be a consistent staple of the community. If it does manage to endure for, years to come. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I think so too. So, and like you said, we need to build up those big franchises, the big teams.
Yeah.
Anything else
I'll
to note?
sell them to some like business executives for millions of dollars one day.
You gotta think bigger, man. Billions. Um,
Billions.
Anything else to point out here on Beeve's team or any of the PBs before we
Um,
move on?
Also pretty slow to start, except for Beeve himself, who has scored a cool like 3,474 points. But other than that, not much to speak of on the B team just yet.
Yep. Again, not a lot of one-star PBs on the leaderboard, and maybe some people can go for some 120 if they just get a run in, can also get some points.
Yeah.
So just fill in the table basically. So
Mm-hmm.
shall we move on
Yeah.
to math? I don't know how to pronounce
Math
that. I'm not gonna lie.
Mathis
Mathis, and of course the team
looks
name's
like
Mafia.
Mafia, but
Mafia, yeah, Mafia. I think we can stick with just saying the Mafia. I know how to pronounce that.
yeah.
Mafies,
Well,
Mafies.
okay. Yeah.
Uh,
Moth.
so let's go over Mafi's draft.
All right. Well, first pick, selected Andrew SM64. Second pick, really bad DK. Third pick, real life Butters. I feel like these are probably more like homie picks rather than like people who are likely to be like top scorers, unless they are homie picks where he has the inside info that they are also going to be high scorers. So,
Right. Well, also,
maybe he's found some diamonds in the rough here for these because I
and
don't recognize a lot of the names.
and team cohesion is important as well. You know, if you're basically just going to be like, hey, I want to practice with all these
Yeah.
people, and that's going to cause you to grind and everyone to grind, then go for it.
Oh, and just says a lot of ROM hack runners. That's cool. That is a really good sign for this team, I think. If you have a
Eh,
lot of ROM hack runners.
Yeah, that that is some experience right there.
Okay. Really bad DK's nuts. All right. Great. Well, this is why I need to get caught up to speed. So really bad
Oh,
DK
wow! It says
is is
far
is
from a homie,
cracked.
far from a homie pick, and that Mash wanted to draft him high up. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's the information, and that's what, again, that's what the league is for, to expose all this information. None of these players, or none of us know about some of these players. So um, those aren't in the know. Shall we
Yeah,
continue
I
with the
really
draft?
like the idea that if you're going for like a lot of ROM hack runners or kind of like a shared identity that'll motivate you to like be more active. Like for one, we'll probably get to later, but like the French Connection, which is like I believe it's Sunard's team,
Yep.
or I don't know, someone's team, like the French Connection. They picked a lot of French runners, and that team's or they were really good last year. And I think partly because they had the French community bond there,
Yeah,
so
and that's why I drafted
that's
as much
really
of them
good.
for my fantasy team because I happened to notice that. So,
Yeah.
but we'll get to that team later.
With the remainder of the draft, fourth round, Mojo Pug's team is mostly Spanish runners. That is good to know as well. Yeah, we have a lot of Spanish runners in the league. I joined like the Spanish Discord, and I'm starting to kind of like connect the names. It's like, oh yeah, this person's from there. So yeah, that's really cool too.
Oh yeah, love the one of my favorite things about it is the international nature of the community and just there's people everywhere.
Yeah. All right, so let's go. Continuing with the picks here. Fourth round, Bigfoot touched me. That's a goaded pick right there. A James 30, round five, followed by Edgar 3 Triple E. Say Surprise, round seven. Say Surprise, I think, is a bit of a sleeper there. Matt Geo, round eight. Malix and SMB. I guess that's new Super Mario Bros. A lot of people are coming from other games. Someone on my team was doing like a Super Meat Boy tournament or something, and
Oh
now
really?
he's learning 70 stars, so that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Round 10, Sam Grind. Round 11, Patrick Minea. Round 12, Petite Little Boy. And 13, Manny64. So that is the Mafia.
Nice. That's good to know.
Hello, Lana.
I'm glad we got all the background on that. Like I wouldn't have known that just by looking at the team and the team name. So awesome. And it looks like the table's pretty much filled in, or so maybe some 120s if you want to get some done, and maybe some 1-star, but it's all just going to be grinding on PBs they have.
Yeah, they're currently 16, so right smack dab in the middle of the table here. We'll see if they move up.
Well, good luck.
Yeah,
Shall we move on?
let's do it.
And so we have Peggy 23.
Peggy 23. All right.
You want me to take
Featuring
care of
Captain.
the draft order this time?
Yeah.
Cool. So first round we have Raisin. Second round Celimbra. Third
Raisin
round.
said he's not going to play, which is painful. Maybe he
Unfortunate.
will. I mean, he can always come back, but
You
I
never
feel
want to
like he
see
kind of
your
got scammed on that first round pick.
yeah, you never want to see that happen to your first round pick. Third round Meep Jeep. Fourth round GH Devil 666. That's fifth round ZJ64. Sixth round Retro Torpedo. Seventh round Drop Mania. Eighth round Batfly. Ninth round Mulp TV. 10th round Aslan 61. 11th round Ledo. Uh, 12th round Setsaphone. Shout outs there, they've been in Club 100 before. And round 13, Not Gold Justin. So like from last time, I'm not familiar with a lot of these runners here. So
Hmm. Yeah, well, currently they are. Let's see, where are they at? They're fourth. So really performing quite well out of the gate here. So hope they keep that up. Let's see if they have any like big category scores here. Yeah, Salemba from this team is the top scorer in 120 star right now, who has 7,136 points in 120. Went from a 230 down to a 155. So huge PB right there and a huge point total to score a pretty hefty sum for Peggy the Loca. And also Peggy himself went from a 220 to a 157, scoring another 5,000 points already. So lots of 120 star coming out for that team in the first week and a half.
that's awesome. That's really cool to see. Anything else you're noticing
Got
about
some
the?
hype for Salemba in the chat, so that's cool.
Yeah, everyone
I'm
knows
excited to see
Slimba.
if he comes in, continues to deliver.
Yeah, we got a lot of hype for Slimber in chat. So, um, yeah, awesome. Well, good luck to Peggy 23. Anything else here? Or shall we move on?
Let's keep it going.
Let's keep it going. They're the Fleeting Azures team, which is Team Fleeting Azure.
I wonder if they'll pick a different name for this one, but still, Fleeting Azure for now.
I can go ahead and do the draft
Yeah.
order. So we have Jaquarium, followed by
Mm-hmm.
Dista, then Dentirius Red, Falling Tacos, uh,
Nice.
Zakinator. Sorry if I'm
Okay.
mispronouncing things, as always. Logan, Liam Play Zelda,
Okay.
Shakamaru, Joe Taters, Vivi Vunders, Rakghoul, Exiled Prince, and following up with Yoshi Killer 109.
I appreciate the 7-hour, 55-minute, 120 PB from Yoshi Killer. Got that on the leaderboard.
Sometimes you just got to get it done.
Yeah. I think there's some pretty decent players on this team. Obviously Jaquarium, the headliner with a 142 and a 47. But there's a bit of depth too. Like I think a lot of these people could improve their times a lot. Like I see Dista running a lot. I think he's due for a PB. I'm not sure about everyone else, but it should be good.
No, it should be good. And also, just the nice thing about hosting tournaments is that Jaquarium is a name I
Oh,
had.
hold on. Let me interject. Apparently, according to Ape Duden, shoutouts to Ape Duden, Fleeting Azure is going to rename the team to Ron and the Cenas. I guess because of Ron Cena, but he's not even on the team, so.
Well, we're
There
looking
you go.
forward. We're looking forward to that. I was just gonna give shout outs to Jaquarium because what's nice about hosting tournaments at Club 100 is that you take these players that I haven't heard of that sign up, and then they turn into amazing players. Jaquarium's one of them. Jaquarium, I think, initially signed up for the qualifier for the 70 star in season 3, and I was just like, okay, let's it's like an LTA format, and they had the leaderboard. I think that's the first I'd tracked them, and then just seeing what they've done since then in the community, just incredible. So.
Okay.
Just wanted to mention, yeah, shout out, and as you were saying, of course, goated pick in first round. So
Nice. Yeah. What a Club 100 success story then.
I think so.
All thanks to you.
all thanks to me. Well, I don't need to take all the credit, just most of it.
Okay.
Um, moving
All
on,
right.
we have Team Taki.
Team Taki. Captain, of course, Taki, yet to have a different name. Taki is currently the top scorer in the league. Team currently sitting at, it's not like super high up, 13th. So mainly just Taki's points from 120 and 1 and 0. So yeah, already some good points there. Let's go through the draft.
Sure, I'll take it. We have Taki, Biggie, or I'm sorry, Biggie 3D Python. Did I pronounce that correct?
Big-eyed Python,
Big-eyed
also known as
Python.
Bidgey, to
Biggie.
the SM64 Discord people.
Thank.
Also, he has held single star world records. He's really, really cool. He's really young. I don't know how old, but he's like, you know, someone you should definitely keep your eye on.
Well,
Big eye on. Ha.
that nailed it. Thank you for the.
Oh, Mario. I'm sorry, Matt. Yep. I've screwed it up again. Mario from Team Tacky. See, because I see the word tacky twice. I thought that was like, yeah, that's just my bad. Tacky, change your team name. Come on.
We'll see.
Just pick something.
We'll see what she does. Second round pick, Trey Bordeaux. Excellent pick.
Mm.
Doganator, followed by Anvermora, Mawir. I think I pronounced that probably incorrectly, but moving on.
Wait, Mauer's like the 6th round pick or something?
Yep. One,
And
two, three,
first in the
four,
league,
fifth.
so what a find.
Fifth round pick there.
5th round pick.
Followed by Unpush Play, WispX, Kelsmont, Octakung 8, Jody 64, Dat Yoshi 35, Joiner, and Hungry Fiend.
This is a really good team. I like this draft a lot. Also, it's a bit OP when your captain has huge scoring potential. Like, Taki has a 50 and 70. Could probably get a 47. Like, that's a lot of points up for grabs. So, yeah, we'll see. And
Well,
also, any more 120. She's on the 120 grind, trying to get the 139. So,
right. Well,
if that happens, that's a big score,
when your
too.
captain competes professionally, in this kind of league that is mostly, I think, pretty casual players generally, that's a huge advantage. So
Hmm.
cool.
Yeah, that's a draft pick you get for free, drafting yourself.
Yeah, essentially. And moving on, we have our eighth team before we go to a smaller intermission to talk about fantasy. Uh,
Hmm.
Phaser Laser, the box champs.
Ooh. I believe because of the all boxes category extension as well, featuring AJ Lane as well.
Featuring AJ Lane. Well, AJ Lane was the first round pick for Phaser Laser, followed
Hmm.
by Cosmolano, Owly64, Gothrock Mike, then followed Juggling Geek, BL Juggler, Ooferboy69, Post
Oofer.
Oofer Prostitutes, uh, Falses R, uh, Hot Dog Boy, I think that's pronounced, John the Baptist, Only for Science, drafted right after each other, and Nitro X Nate YT.
Nice. I actually picked AJ for my team. I think this was like the first league we did. I thought AJ was just gonna like completely tear it up because has like a lot of room to improve, but he got a few points. I think it's maybe not someone I'd pick in the first round, but he's been doing a lot of 120 practice. I know that much, so pretty excited to see if AJ will bring the big PBs for Team Box Champs.
Oh, someone's pointing out there might be a data inconsistency here. Cosmolano not in that list that I have on the screen, but it's on my, and I'm using the my PacePal buddy to pull up the draft order, so I might have a data error here.
Yeah,
Oh,
according to the draft sheet, it is Cosmolano,
so
so we'll see.
Cosma dropped, it says.
Maybe
AJ Lane. Is that true?
Owly? Let me look for Owly. No, Owly was picked round 3. Okay, I don't know who replaced Cosma.
Yeah, we're going to have to.
Oh well.
Well, good to know that though. Good to know. Yeah,
TV Mars. Thank you, AJ.
TV Mars. There we go. So
Good luck on the league, AJ, and bringing
exactly.
up some big points for the box champs.
Maybe they can get
You'll do great.
some one-star PBs, stack some of those points, and maybe their sub TV Mars can grab like a 70 PB or something.
All right.
So
So as we're kind of doing this show, we're not gonna do like all 32 teams at once. We're gonna do like a second show on Wednesday. Get uh through like half of the draft. So we're gonna do like 16 today and then like 16 on Wednesday, just to keep it on a manageable time scale. I'm sorry, Mash. We'll also upload these to YouTube. I don't know if this will be like my channel or bdef's channel,
why not
or
both?
if there's gonna be a separate Mario Summer League channel. I don't know.
Yeah, we
I
can
don't
figure
think
that
the
out.
Summer League has a YouTube channel. But yeah, we want to talk about some fantasy stuff. Now that we've gone through 8 to kind of get what we're doing here. Um, we'll just take a quick detour here and look at the Summer League fantasy.
Yep. What I have pulled up in front of us, and we can pull up more on the spreadsheet if we need to.
Oh
But
wait, so bdef, if Lana picked 16th, are we gonna cover Lana's team today or next time?
Lana's team, I believe, is first next time.
Ooh,
I believe we're wrapping up with Real Prime Sub. Um,
it's regrettable.
it's regrettable. I'm sorry, Lana. Do it today or I cry. I have some bad news for you. None of the stuff is prepped for
No.
your team, so I could not do it today. I apologize. I'm just going over what I thought the draft order was here. So we are ending with MASH, so I got that much right. So, but yeah, we can talk about fantasy for a little bit. What I thought that were the most interesting things to pull up were the current standings, of course, with I think most people following the league right now know Lion having a gigantic lead and a gigantic advantage there without even drafting Sweegie.
Yeah.
And we can talk about also just who are the most picked players in fantasy, because I think that's what's most relevant to the people at home.
I mean, sure, going down the list, we have Suiji, Kali, Sol Erica B, Raisin, Spenner, Alaris. Lots of Alaris picks. I don't know,
Lots
like,
of
if
Larry.
he's been hinting at something, but Avatar, L Foxy, SMC5, Madware, Ron Cena, Emmy Bella, and Jaquarium were all picked 10 times or more.
Right? Yeah.
Um,
Nuts.
it's really hard to think of, like, who's so it's easy to pick players who are good. Everyone knows like who's really good.
Hmm.
But picking players who are gonna score, that's hard.
Yep.
We'll kind of see how this will turn out because Maurier currently was in first, but if I search, he got picked only twice by Lion and Seba. So those are 1 and 2 in the fantasy league. And we'll see if that trend continues. But like, yeah, fantasy is crazy. Like, if you have like some secret intel that someone's gonna be grinding and they're gonna get a lot of points,
Right.
that can be huge. But
The
I don't think
scouting.
you could pick out like 14 or 13 people who are gonna be like straight fire.
Right. No, well, the Club 100 scouting department, basically all the kind of tournaments we have and seeing new players come in and how they perform, and you got to get that intelligence in the background. Who's going for a huge grind because this is their time to do it, and they want to do it during league, and this is the time where they're going to do categories they don't really care about just to get some times. So, all that comes into account. Not only the good players, but who's actually going to put up points, lump sum points, just
Yeah.
improve quickly. So. Yeah, I'm really glad there's a fantasy league to be able to see this. And I think someone else pointed out, I forget who it was in the league chat, but you can just see how obviously needed like a draft order was with like a snake draft and just doing something to spread out the teams. Because if you can just pick anyone you want at any time, look at how like stacked you can get some of these teams.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy. There's no one outside of Suiji who's like a world record type player.
Hmm.
Like you have some really good players like Callie and Taki, but it's like Suiji stands out really clearly as like the best player in the fantasy league,
Yeah, I think
or
so.
in the league, more
Yeah,
accurately.
right. Same players, so we understand. Yeah, so obviously Suiji. I admit I didn't pick Suiji for fantasy because I thought, oh, is he gonna like, is he gonna want to grind that out? And apparently the answer is yes. I completely didn't think he was gonna go hog
Oh,
wild.
Ouija's in there. I didn't even know he was.
Suiji.
No, Saxo says
Oh,
Ouija is also in there. I didn't think he. I didn't see that he signed up. Oh, Karen is in there. Okay. I take this back. Yep. All right. You might just have to take what I said previously with a grain of salt because we have Ouija and Karen and Benji. So, never mind.
um,
I
so
just I just don't see like Liam, and I'm like,
yeah,
you know,
exactly right. Like it's
I assume like none of the other like top players signed up, but that's not the case. We have a lot of people
Yeah, well,
at the
it's a
very
good it's a
top
good
level.
mix of the community. New people, kind of people that are around but kind of don't grind a lot. People that grind a lot and stream a lot, and then you have like
Yeah,
the
there's a
top
certain
tier
level of
professional
kind of
players.
like even complacency where I'm like, you know, I've done pretty well. I would
Hmm.
like to improve my time, but it's not like if I don't grind, I'm going to like fade into obscurity and whatever. I don't know.
Right,
Like I'll still be recognized.
and hey, it's
But
a
yeah,
big world out there. There's lots of things, games to speed run, games to not speed run, things to do besides play games. Like so, whatever time you can dedicate to it, and it's what you do with the time you dedicate to it. I think so. Um, cool. Well, I think that's our fantasy update, unless you can think of anything else
no,
to cover. But
that's good. I think it's something we can look back at and check how it goes throughout
this
the
is
league.
this is definitely and, the thing with like I think just for the regular leaderboards as well as the fantasy, like it's diminishing returns because I think your easiest points come with your earliest PBs. If it gets harder to PB and that sort of thing. So
Probably.
I wonder if it's going to be a lot of points up front and then kind of they trickle in a bit. I wonder how that'll play into things. That's a good chance. I think a lot of teams will catch up. So.
All right, well, let's knock out the second batch of 8 teams.
Let's do it. Moving on to Oat Slice's team, Young Bucks from the Mud.
What a name.
What a name. Shall I go over
Mm-hmm.
the draft order? Let's make sure I get the right row on the table here. Oat Slice in the first round picked Pie Golds, followed by Wicco, Sanjay, Sonic Gordon 6, uh, Pumba, Salt and Ginger, Naho TTV, Monty VR, Nosuke, Big Ol' Monkey, Fro Buddy Harry, Gustadl, and Soccerman 611.
Nice. There's a lot of people here with 1-star PBs and like kind of 16, 17, 16. I think like there's a couple names that jump out like Pie Gold's the first pick, Salt and Ginger. I'm really excited to see him play if he does play. Sonic Gordon also is pretty notable. I think he runs ROM hacks mainly. I don't quote me on that. Yeah, not a bad draft from Oat Slice.
Not at all. Well,
I don't know the other players well enough to speculate.
right, but when you see that many one-star PBs already on the board, and I will say that this is data from about yesterday, so some of this is going to be not PBs they entered the league with, or some of these are PBs they may have gotten during the league already, but this is kind of where the teams are at. This is what the people can do.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, awesome. Well, let's go ahead and move on to Zeus SM64.
Nice.
And look how just looking at this table, look how just filled out it is. Nearly everyone has a time
Wow.
for like everything. So that is
This is a really
insane.
good job. I think like, having people who haven't filled in PBs for anything can be an advantage because then they have like, a super huge margin that they can get their times in, or like their
Right.
times in those categories can be, you know, the biggest PB changes.
Right.
But also having people who have submitted times in all 5 categories
Yeah.
means that you have people who can de-rust any category, can de-rust any of the categories on the spot and be good enough to play it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And those are
wait,
some.
TX said this was an auto-drafted team because I guess Zeus is from Australia, and I
Okay.
guess he couldn't be there to draft.
And that
Did
makes
he give
sense.
you a list, or is that completely auto-drafted? Because if that's auto-drafted, that is an insane auto-draft team. Like this is probably like one of the better drafted teams that jumps out at me that I've seen so far. Like this is a really well-drafted team. If the
Right.
auto-draft did indeed do that.
Okay. He says not a very long list, so
Okay.
uh, possibly all auto drafted
Wow.
according to the mods. So and you can
All right,
see
we'll run down the list.
run down the list for Zeus SM64. In the first round, Finny, followed by Zumi, Tomcar, Sizy. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing that.
I don't know.
Yeah. Submarine Captain, LXQ Zach, Kaprusin, Oxelput, Shady Watt, RB Man, Paper Lead, L Sky, and Gem of LOL. Or Gem of LOL.
That's an insane team. Like Finney was one of the best scorers in the summer league last year. I had him on my team. He
Yep.
kind of farmed some VC points, but like he's actually really good. So I'm just saying that kind of more of a meme. Finney's insane. You got Zumi. You got Tom Carr. You got
Yep.
Submarine Captain. Like Sissy. Like whatever. Like Zach. LXQ Zach. You have a lot of players who are like very comfortable in all 5 categories. So that's insane.
Yep. Yep. That is nuts. And also just shout outs. I know Kaprusa is the name I most recently learned from seeing them in Markinators tournaments, Mario Sundays, and they're actually in the Club 100 tournament this season. I believe they were in Group
Nice.
A, but I might have that wrong. But so yeah, just shout out seeing like, these names again, names I hadn't really seen before, just start showing up in tournaments and league, and love it.
There you
Love to
go.
see it.
That's
And
how
just
you get. That's how I don't know. If you're like, I feel like it's kind of hard to become like integrated with the community nowadays because it's kind of been around for a while. It's bigger. There's like established like cliques and stuff. But
yes, yeah,
like
there's definitely
joining
clicks.
events like this and maybe making friends with your teammates and stuff is a really good way to find those connections with
Right, right.
people who you want to spend time with.
And that's we can work on making the clicks a little bigger too by expanding them, being like, oh, okay, now we kind of got the click and some new people in, and kind of that spreads it around, and
Yeah.
people hopping
I mean,
around. And
pace was great. Like I felt like, the pace group we had last year is kind of like now its own kind of dynamic as well. It's like, hey, this is the pace 2022 crowd. So,
exactly.
yeah.
So yeah, you
I'm
love
just
to see
like shilling for Milo here.
that. Well, I mean
But it
that's
was a great event.
no, it was a good event, and I think everyone's looking forward to Pace this year. I mean, there's a lot of hype,
Hmm.
so much Mario hype right now. So moving on from the auto draft team, we get to Bailey SM64 with the Yoshi Fan Club 4.
Love to see the recurring team name.
Recurring theme of picking all Yoshis and Yoshi lovers.
The Bailey did pick a few Yoshis here. You can go ahead and
All right, go over the
go
team
down the
here.
list.
All right, so Bailey in the first round picked Adeline64, followed by Nara Knight, 7 Yoshi, Cheapy, FMX000, Side B Gamin, Roshiki, Super Stinky Burps, Jake98, Zenan, IDPG, Lucky Man 525, and Evil Link 2565.
Yeah, so compared to Zeus's team, not a lot of, 120 star, not a lot of 0 star um PBs on the board, but there's potential here. I think I would maybe look at, Nara Knight plays quite a bit in the Mario 64 VC with 7. Those two are kind of the most familiar to me, apart from Bailey, of course. Adeline is an interesting pick for first round. I'm not sure what Bailey has in mind, but could be a homie pick. Um, we'll see if Adeline turns out to be a big scorer.
Still pretty good homie pick with those PBs. Sub 2 hour 120, and
Hmm.
yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
uh,
maybe this is a super sandbagged person who's about to drop like, a 149, a 49, and like a 15. You
wouldn't
never
su-
know.
wouldn't surprise me. Shall we move on
Hmm.
to Team Cooking Cat Overcooked?
Yeah, I was on Cooking Cat's team in the Nonstop League.
And how was your experience
Shoutouts
with
to
Cooking Cat?
Overcooked, fun game if you've played that one.
Let's see here. We can go over the draft order.
Hmm.
Starting out with Karen. That's a pretty
Ooh,
good, solid pick to start out. Skythermer, also in the Club 100 season, this season right now. Low Appeal, El Foxy, No Nag, Joshua is Drunk, Burndy.
Josh,
Yeah, yeah.
keyboard warrior.
Oh, really? I always forget. Burndy, Eartheyed, Love Baseball 58, Ale Monster, El Revolver 385, Drainso, and Cali. I Cal
Lee, I don't know.
Kalia.
No
Kalia.
PBs for this individual, so blank slate.
Uh, Only place to go is up.
Yep. All right. Well,
But
we'll let them cook, as the saying goes.
yep. Yeah, not seeing. I always love seeing just
Currently, they're in 31st, so not any huge points just yet.
so they're still getting started. Yeah, I'm not familiar with a lot of the names. Karen, obviously being the one that stands out most. Skyler again in the tournament right now, so that you can see, yeah, they're number one in their group. So and I think number one seeded in the tournament. So excellent player, good pick there. All right, moving on to Team Elisa, the Mighty Fucks. My team, hell yeah, shout out Mighty Fucks. Mighty Fucks represent. We can go over the order here. Elisa in the first round picked Blue Bob, followed by
Mm.
Karina, Zeus 44, Denise, Aesir, Black Vike, Amanda, ADR Killer, Alex 7456, myself, bdef, Selfless Potato, Comfy Kid, and Ethon. Um, and so
This
I
team fucks.
this team fucks. We've had a few practice sessions already. Blue Bob was there, ADR Killer was there, and I was there. We were working on SBLJ. It's the first time I've ever really grinded out
Wow, you got
SBLJ.
practice sessions?
Oh yeah, no, this is
Okay.
intense. I cannot disappoint
That's a top
Elisa, or
secret
she's
leak
gonna
right there. You
beat me
should
up.
be a little bit careful about revealing your strats
If
and
oh, if
things.
you're, this is the thing. You need to be able to be better than the other teams when they know your strats. So
That's a good counter. Yeah.
it's good, and also
Touche.
yeah, Blue Bob in the first round, goated pick. So yeah, and yeah, shout out Lisa. I guess I put out posted in chat exclamation point league. And yeah, and again, this is when we were talking about franchises earlier. This is one of the franchises from last year that goes hard and is building up, I think, a huge reputation. So um,
Yeah,
can't,
Lisa doing a lot for female runners in the space as well.
oh hell yeah, no,
Cool
this
that
is
she's a captain.
yeah, no, she's gonna kick my ass if I don't get some points. So I am working on it. So yeah, great team to be a part of.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we can move on. We're almost done. We have three more teams to cover. Then we'll have a short little wrap, and then say goodbye. But before we do that, TXOM, the homie squad.
Okay.
Let's get the draft order in front of me right here. And we have in the first round, Happy Dude 124, followed by Sparky 64, uh, Ganny Median, Vodka Al
Ganymede is a moon of Jupiter.
Ganymede, got it. Vodka Owl, Hippocamp, Oracle of Pages, Moltres 93, no idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly, I apologize. Sloth Yo, Birdman 20, Adam Hamez, Twig 64, Ambriel Drake, and Speedrunning Noob? Is that
Noob 95
Noob 95?
with an OPBs, so he is a noob.
Let's go.
So I don't know, maybe this is like a mostly homie pick squad. There's a few good picks, I think. Nothing like crazy though. If you look at the PBs, like no one's like a kind of top player PB, like no 49s, no 15s or anything. Everyone's kind of like mid 50s for 70 star. So it means a lot of room for improvement. You can drop those times a lot in 2 months if you're willing to practice. Oh, TX saw him in the chat. Surely speedrunning noob 95 will get a PB. I think
Yeah.
that might be copium, but you never know.
Hey, you never know, and you never know what to expect with your 13th round draft pick. So, if
Hmm.
that one doesn't work out, I think you have your bases covered with your previous
Yeah.
picks.
If
So.
you get like 10 active players, that's a good draft.
Yeah, I really feel like it's like that. It's you want to try to pick early and get what you can early because later on, you never know what you're gonna get. So, just like the real drafts and like the real sports ball. Um, so yeah, good luck to the homie squad. Uh, Malters is a hardcore sleeper. Coming out in chat. Big things coming there.
Okay.
All right, so we'll look forward to
Good,
that.
good. Keep an eye on then.
Keep
Shout
an eye.
outs to Meter. Keeping an eye on the scene and
Uh,
the up and coming players.
Shouts to Meter for doing comms for the Club 100 season so far. I really appreciate it. Let us move on to.
What if they're active but don't PB? Asking for a friend.
Oh.
I appreciate that's a good message.
Moving on to Pierre's team. Reset, no thanks.
Okay.
And if I can pull up the draft order here, starting out with SMC5, excellent first round pick, I'd say. Raydex,
Banger.
Tankford, Legit, Bob Toad, Coco, Link Arf, 8-inch Bagels, Lost in Speedruns, Galactic 92, Stronos, Sir Home, and a person. They drafted a person.
I have some optimism for this team. I don't know, just a little trivia piece. Bob Toad was in a lot of the Moist Critical challenges. He was like third in the Amok Runner, and I believe he might have been like top three in one of the other two. So, yeah, Bob Toad with an eclectic skill set there. And then I think a few of these players have a lot of potential. SMC5 is a really good pick, I think.
Yep.
And yeah, we'll see how it goes. They're currently in 12th, so a little bit above the middle. So pretty good start.
Pretty good start. If I'm looking at the 120 star call in particular, I see a lot of over kind of 2 hours. I think those could come down a lot, just depending on how much you grind, especially when you look at the 70 PBs. So I think something to watch for right there.
Mm-hmm.
And our final team we're going to cover today, Real Prime Sub, Gangster SpongeBob.png.
Shout out to Zion in the chat.
Shout out to
Ooh,
Zion.
I see Witted in there. Oh, I like this team. Go read it off.
Real Prime Sub. All right, first round pick was Benji64, followed by Widit.
Mm.
So,
Mm.
followed by Good Grief, also
Mm.
in the tournament.
Sorry.
This is this is the reaction you should have. Followed by Nader Beans.
What?
Yeah, Real Prime Sub going hard with these picks. Benedict Floor 123, Lucinovic.
That's what I'm eyeing Lucy here. I've picked him twice in previous leagues. He's like a really solid sleeper. He'll just get some points. He's good for it.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like guaranteed. I mean, if he plays, but he
Nothing's ever.
played like pretty well for me twice. He was like a top 25 player in the last summer league. Just kind of like inconspicuously got some points in different categories and ended up in like 24th or something. Like really solid pick for like a late round
Yeah, look at that.
draft.
And
Like that's insane.
after all those other picks too, insane. So
This was an auto draft, man. I would be
that'd be
I
fun.
would be loving life if I auto drafted Benji 64, Widit, Lucy, Nader Beans, and Good Grief,
Yeah.
who I think he was in the Club 100 tournament where he had
Yes.
like a really awesome like third place underdog lower bracket run.
Right, right,
That
and
was sick.
missed advancing by only, I believe, like 13 seconds off second place. So,
Yeah,
excellent
and
running
he was
there.
like 13th seed, and he
Yeah.
got third out of
Uh,
16.
let's wrap up the picks here after Lucinovic. JD, Joan Bros, AB underscored, Kaplui, Mr. Froggy, Tiki Liger, and question mark God.
Nice.
And you can
Real
see,
Prime sub Gangster SpongeBob is currently in 5th place.
and you can see also just a lot of the table filled out. The auto drafter favoring people that have times in every category. It seems,
Yeah.
which makes a lot of sense to me. I mean,
I think auto draft counts like there's like a minimum threshold to start earning points. It's like
right,
maybe like 2 minutes 30 or something.
right, right.
So I think auto draft takes like if you technically in your whole speedrunning career, if you had earned points for those PBs, how many points would you have? And that's your auto draft order.
That
Reddit says he did his first 1-star run ever this league.
the second
And
day of
he's
the
been
league.
around for like 8 years.
Yeah, no, and that's what it's all about. Get those points and yeah, run those categories you don't normally run. So
Yeah,
uh,
that's a good team.
that's a great team. So we'll track them. Seems like both the auto draft teams have looking pretty spicy. So we'll have to see how that plays out. That'll be a fun storyline to follow mid-season during the review. So
Yeah. Maybe if the auto draft teams do well, you should just say, even if I'm a captain, just go with the auto draft.
exactly. So um,
Yeah, AB underscored in the chat saying insane team in his unbiased opinion.
I
So looks like we got a lot of confidence from the teammates themselves.
Yeah, totally unbiased opinion. So, um, well, that wraps up our preview of the first 16 teams. We're going to be covering the next 16 teams in the next episode, which is Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. So, I hope you'll join us then. We're going to do a short little wrap up, though. I wanted to mention this message. I wanted to get out there. Make sure people kind of are on the same page here. Kirsten tweeted this, and I thought it was really good. Just a little league PSA. League is a silly, fun competition with no prize. If you're getting on people's case for being inactive when it has been a week, you're weird. And I completely agree with that. This is a chance to lift other people up and encourage people to do runs, not shit on them for not participating and not doing things. This is people's lives are busy. Mario isn't the first thing in everyone's life, so this is meant to encourage people and kind of maybe help them out if they're having issues or kind of get them to do things they wouldn't normally do. But don't this league shouldn't be about shitting on people that aren't participating, and especially in the first week. In the first week, like give it
Yeah.
maybe if they like committed to you and
Maybe
then
a
didn't.
month in, hey,
Yeah,
you gonna play it all?
yeah,
Little
you
nudge,
did sign up for
friendly nudge,
something.
nudge.
Maybe you did sign up, but still, I just wanted to let's get on
Yeah.
the same page here. Let's lift people up. Let's encourage people to run, and let's encourage people who are running. Because
Yeah.
there's a
Oh, that's
lot of
that's a
them.
good point to say. Like focus on the people who are doing the good stuff. If
Exactly.
they're not running, then I guess you just ignore them.
Uh,
They're not doing anything. So what's the use
and that's a
of
great.
Although I do want to say like I
Yep.
just so we're like not going overreacting. I haven't really seen much of this sentiment, but it might just
Yes.
be in like the team's channels
Oh
themselves or
no no
something
no.
like,
Well,
oh, why isn't this person here?
like
But I personally haven't seen this as like a prevailing
No,
sentiment.
no, and I'm sure it's like the other thing. It's that the people it's a small number of people who are very loud about it. So it's like anything else in life. So also, just on the same point, your little promo here for PacePal Buddy. If you want to see who is uh, live streaming in amongst all the league this summer, go ahead and check that out. It's updates every 5 minutes and shows who's live. You can see the whole table, which shows every team, kind of the draft order, all on one page, or you can just see the list. And this is what I keep up during the day, of just the list of who's streaming and what their stream title is. It's basically league, 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 league. So be sure to bookmark that.
That's an insane tool. You should
Yeah,
like bookmark that.
yeah,
Is that
yep.
pinned in like the
It
league
is.
somewhere? I
Yeah,
might put that in Pace Pals.
yeah.
Or,
That's I believe someone got that pinned. There was a request for that. So.
okay.
Um, So anyway, yeah, I just want to wrap on that and just say, yeah, good luck to people, and yeah, really encouraging people that are out there grinding, and a lot of exciting Mario out there right now. So, well, that's it. Badroenis, did you have anything else you wanted to say before we wrap until Wednesday night?
No, that's it. I'm really excited to do the other 4 episodes of this, particularly the pace one. Like that's kind of like the highlight for me if we can do one live and in person, have runners who are there talk
Right,
about the
right,
league. Even if
right.
we get like a group all on the same team talk about things.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know,
no.
that would be so cool.
I think that's gonna be a pretty casual, fun episode, and we're gonna be running around pace. It'll be all hype anyway, so we'll have to figure it out there. We need to figure out the tech for that, like primarily. So,
Yep.
cool. But we'll talk about that. So, please join us Wednesday night for the next episode of Summer League Now, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone.